Welcome back to the mountain, folks. It's July 3rd, getting ready for a long holiday weekend. Summer is definitely hit up here in northern New England. Going to be close to 90 the next few days. Put the air conditioners in the house, so at least we'll be cool in there. Outside right now, it's kind of warm, even though it's still morning. See, I'm already sweating today. What we're doing today is I put this log on the sawmill last night. She's about 10 feet long, a little over 2 feet in diameter. We're going to go ahead and start cutting this thing for floor joist for the goat barn. Everything's fluid around here. We were hot and heavy on the woodshed, but with the offer of the goats, now we got to get everything ready for the goats. So I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting this thing. Okay, with a log this size, a lot of things you want to do. You want to make sure that the center is kind of level on the sawmill. So what I've done is I've measured the center of the log off the bunks. The bunks are these parts right here. We're about 8.5 inches on that one. And then if you notice, the butt of this tree is sitting below the bunk. That just happened to be how it was when I set it on the mill. I got lucky on this one. And this one here, the center of the tree is about the same height off the bunk. So the middle of this log is pretty level. So when I go ahead and cut this side here down, then I do a 180, it'll be perfect and I won't have to lift anything up. And then I'll cut nice and level through the whole log. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got the log cut into a cant. It's 12 by 14 inches. And what I did was I went ahead and cut it in half. So now I get two of them that are 6 by 14. And I stood them up, clamped them in. Now what I'll do is I'll start cutting my 2 by 6s out of there. So if at 14 inches, that's 7 each one, I should get 14 2 by 6s. I did turn them around so that the bark is in the middle, so that way I can clamp them nice and square down there. So I'll have 4 2 by 6s with a little bit of wane on them, but I don't really see that as a problem. So let's go ahead and get these cut. Turn on my water. Now I want to roll this 180. Be nice and flat. I won't have to do anything to the other side. Pretty sure this is about the biggest log I've had on the mill. So this should be fun. Whew. That's a heavy log. There we go. Put this in. Some of the dirt out of the board. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and cut this side. That seemed a little loud. Got my ear protected. Now I'm going to turn it 90, I'll cut that, and then turn it 180 after that, cut that, and then I'll make it into a nice square cant. And then we'll be back and I'll go ahead and do some of the 2x6s for the floor joists. walls are running out of room. Beautiful lumber though. Sorry about that, you guys fell off the tractor. Well, we'll come back in a bit. There you have it, folks. 14 out of the 15 floor joists we need for the goat barn. Some disassembly required. So I'll put another 10-foot log up on the mill and we'll mill out some more. But I got them all stickered and stacked now. You have to do that with the wet lumber. If you just stack the lumber within a few days, it'll just start to mold in between the boards. So we sticker and stack it to get airflow and help it to start drying. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about building with green lumber, and we're just fine, and that's exactly what we'll be doing with this. Okay, folks, we wound up with 18 10-foot 2x6s for the floor joists. I needed 15, I got 18. I got two 10-foot 4x4s, some 1x4 strapping. That'll go on the roof, and then on this side, on this pile, we've got 12-foot 2x6s for the roof rafters. We needed 11 of those. We got 12. We got some 12-foot 1x6s, a 2x4, a 2x2, some more strapping over there on the ground. And see over there, that pile there, that's all the slabs that come off the outside. And those will be good for the fire pit or for making syrup next year, or we can even use them in the wood stove. So that's what we did today. We got a good start on the barn kit that we got to do. I got a lot more 4x4s to make. I think I got a dozen more 4x4s to make. A bunch of 2x6s that are 8-footers, and then all the 1x for the flooring and for the siding. So once again, from the mountain howdy, God bless, and y'all have a good day.